Okay, Two-Cillians, friends from 2C. We've been doing an author study this week, and we've been looking at Robert Munsch. We've been looking at quite a few of his stories. So today is the last story I'll read by Robert Munsch, and then we'll go on to another author. So the idea was to get an idea of what kind of style Robert Munsch has, so that you, if you like, when you go to the library, you can look up the Robert Munsch books. So far we've read, holy cow, in order here, how did it go? Okay, so the last one was Purple, Green, and Yellow. Mud Puddle was after that, or sorry, Mud Puddle before that. 50 Below Zero, and then our first one was Mortimer, one of my personal favorites. All right, today I'm going to read you Pyjama Day, if that's okay with chicken. Is that okay with chicken? Oh, yeah, I think I agree with chicken. I like Robert Munsch's older books. Mortimer was one of his first ones, and all the ones that I've read so far are his older ones. This is one of his newer ones. It's not bad, but I like Robert Munsch's older stories. I think they're more funny, and they make me kind of, they're really silly, so I like those ones a little bit better. This one's not bad, though. It's called Pyjama Day, and illustrated by Michael Marchenko. So again, Robert Munsch working with Michael Marchenko. Great illustrations in this. All right, Pyjama Day. Andrew's old pajamas were full of holes, so his father took him to get new ones. They went to a store and Andrew said, "Yuck, these pajamas do not feel right." They went to another store and Andrew said, "Yuck, these pajamas do not smell right." They went to another store and Andrew said, "Yuck, these pajamas do not taste right." Taste right? I'll wear my old ones. Uh-oh. His father took him to one more store. Way in the back was a rack that said "Perfect Pajamas." Andrew looked at the pajamas and said, "All right, they look okay." He smelled the pajamas and said, "All right, they smell okay." He tasted the pajamas and said, "All right, they taste okay." So his father bought the pajamas. There he is, finding them. Robert Munsch uses Andrew as a name quite a bit. The next day was Pyjama Day at school. Andrew put one foot into his new pajamas and yawned once. He put the other foot in and yawned twice. He put one arm in as his eyes closed. He put the other arm in and fell fast asleep. Good silliness from Robert Munsch. This was very strange because it was only 9 o'clock. Andrew's teacher put him in the back of the room and said he'll wake up in a bit. Carry on good with that. Andrew slept until recess, and his teacher started to get worried. He slept until lunch, and the principal started to get worried. He slept all afternoon, and even the kids started to get worried. At the end of the day, the teacher called for a doctor. There he is, sleeping in the poke bed. The doctor bonked Andrew on the knee, looked in his ears, and looked in his eyes. She said that he was fine, but Andrew was still asleep. Then Andrew's big sister came to walk him home from school. She said, "I'm going to call Mom." There he is, getting looked at by the doctor. Andrew's mother took one look and said, "I see what's wrong. He's wearing perfect pajamas." She took Andrew's arm out of the pajamas and he yawned. She took his other arm out of the pajamas and he opened one eye, just for a second. She took out one foot and he opened both eyes. She took out the other foot and Andrew jumped up and said, "Is it recess yet?" There he is, standing in his underwear in front of everybody. The principal came in and said, "What's going on here?" "Look," said Andrew's mother, "it was perfect pajamas that made Andrew sleep. These are perfect pajamas." "That's crazy," said the principal. "I say there's no such thing as perfect pajamas, and I am a principal, so I know everything twice." But just to be sure, the principal decided to try them out. There he is, talking to Andrew's mom. The principal looked at the pajamas and they looked okay. He smelled the pajamas and they smelled okay. He tasted the pajamas and they tasted okay. He put one foot in the pajamas and he yawned. He put the other foot in the pajamas and he yawned again. He put his arms in the pajama and he fell fast asleep. The principal. Oh, I love it. Oh, Robert Munch. Andrew's mother carried the principal back to his office, and then she took Andrew home. He was sleeping. That's cool. Then Andrew's mom made him some real perfect pajamas. They kept Andrew as warm as toast, even on very cold nights. And they were really perfect because they only made Andrew go to sleep when he wanted to go to sleep. Like it. And the principal, he's still sleeping. Robert Munch and his silliness. All right, so 3 things we're learning about when it comes to literature. And this is literature. That's what books are called. We are learning about plot. So plot means what happens in the story. We are learning about characters. Characters are the people or the animals in the story. We're also talking about illustrations a little bit. Those are the pictures in the story and how they support the story. So we'll be talking about that more as we go through. And lastly, we're talking about setting as well. And that's where the story takes place. Also, well, I guess I forgot, we talk about the problem too a little bit. What is the problem? And in this case, the problem was that Andrew fell asleep because he had perfect pajamas. How did it get solved? Well, Mom took the pajamas off him, and there he was, wide awake, standing in his underwear in front of the entire class. So the problem got solved, but then the problem got passed on to the principal because he tried on the pajamas and fell asleep. So funny stuff there. Again, funny plot, using characters that are children, and great illustrations by Michael Lomachenko. Okay, that's it for Robert Munch this week. Next week we'll take up another author, a new author, and I'm not sure who yet. It might be Nicholas Oldham, but you'll find out next week. I hope you enjoyed this author study.